Man, YouTube, we're losing a brother today. I'm losing one of my boys, man. But we're gonna put together a nice one for y'all. Hopefully y'all enjoy this. Just let me know what y'all think at the end of this one.
So to kick this video off, I'll go in by lifting each and every one of his dreads single-handedly using my Babeless FXs to cut at the dread or cut at the top part where it is not locked at. You want to be able to cut and also lead a new growth so you have something to work with to give your client whatever haircut they truly desire after, you know, letting go they dreads. Some people say that when you gotta cut off dreads that you got to cut it all the way off to where it's like super low, and you don't have to, as long as your client don't get a retwist and you're able to hit it right where they got enough new growth at. Like my client right here has maybe 1.5 to 2 inches worth of new growth, maybe even more than that once I completely pick it out. But I'm just gonna do the strategies just so I can knock off every one of these dreads and create room so I can eventually get this hair cut down to a desired length. As you guys see now, dreads is tagged and bagged. I go in with a pick and I just want to lift this hair off of the client head, and I want to prep it so I could get into some real heavy duty work. As you guys see, it's completely picked out and washed. Now it's time to go in and clean it up with a number 2 guard. I'm completely open and I want to go with the grain. I want to watch out for light spots. I want to watch out for any cowlicks. I want to watch out for all of the different things that can pop out, because you don't know what a person's head look like when they come out of dreads. You just want to make sure that you able to bring everything together and consistently get this hair down to a nice desired length. I want to give a huge shout out to my boy Germ Boom, and I got his BeatStars account in the description. If you want to get instrumentals, beats, anything of that nature, my boy definitely can bring it to life for you. An amazing producer. I honestly love my producer, man. My producer is everything. Without him, my channel wouldn't be halfway as great as it is. So if y'all could go show support, hit the link in the description for the BeatStars to be able to contact Germ Boom and you know, Lisa Beat or something like that. He got amazing selection or collection of beats, and he can put anything together. So shout out to my boy Jerm Boomin once again. I'm just superly focused on bringing everything down to that desired length. I seen I had a cowlick in the front, so I'm cutting towards that left side, but also getting his hair down to a desired length. My next step, I go in with my gold Babeless FX trimmers, then I'm gonna create a rainbow shape. And I just want to go ahead and clear this panel out just so I can create some room to start doing the taper. My next step is to go in with my number 2 guard completely closed using the hilt of my blade just so I can debulk this area. The next step is completely open with the Andis Masters, giving myself about 1/2 inch. Then my next step is using my 1/8, which is considered my number 1 guard, halfway closed, create more gradiency between that number 2 and that open. Next step after that is now bringing that open and that 1/8 guard all the way together with my 1/16 guard, and now I will blend out my open line. Just keeping everything systematic. I'm using guidelines just so fading is a little bit easier for you guys to understand and comprehend when I'm educating. I want you guys to understand this thing, you know, thorough, you know, and all the way through. Because, you know, some people see that they got to cut dreads off and instantly get intimidated. Like, you don't have to get intimidated. Take your time and everything will come together. You know, it's just, you know, keeping yourself consistent and putting reps up. That's what happened. The more consistently you do this thing, the easier it's gonna come. Open with my masters here on the top of the beard line, creating some transition, because I do not like when people leave beards dark with a nice taper. Like, it just don't make sense to me. Create that transition all the way throughout the haircut so it can go together as one. My next step is to repeat all of the same steps, balling it out, debulking with a number 2, go in open, debulking with a 1/8, and now debulking with a 1/16 guard right here. And then after this, I'm gonna blow the panel completely out. But just in cases like this, y'all just gotta always stay focused, man. Keep doing what y'all doing, having fun doing what y'all doing. I know the pandemic, that held us down for a little bit, but we going into a new year, and not even going into a new year, we actually in a new year. This video was recorded months ago, but I'm just, doing a commentary this morning. So y'all just gotta stay focused, man. It's a new year. We got new things happening. It's gonna be a big twist to my channel this year. I don't really want to speak on anything yet till I'm 100%, but just understand and know that we headed in a different direction. We gonna have fun with this thing though. So I'm gonna repeat the same steps that I did on the sides and the back. Going in using my Babeless FXs, creating myself a ball line, opening up some room for a taper. Next step, debulking with a number 2 guard. Lifting a lot of this hair, getting it out the way, and also trying to get this hair to lay down. That's a problem that people have a lot with haircuts like this, is trying to get that hair to lay down, but we'll talk about that later. I go in with my Andis Masters, giving myself a full inch, and then now using my 1/8 guard, and I'm trying to debulk where I debulked with that number 2 already. The taper is only looking a little crazy like this because the hair isn't laid down. It's still frizzy, but when I lay the hair down, you guys will see the taper come together way, way, way better. So just always brush one and fade one, keep everything consistent, and just let it naturally come to you. Like, this is what we do. We putting reps up in the shop, we staying consistent, but most importantly, we taking our time with everything that we do. Next step, 1/16 guard. So I'm gonna hit with a 1/16 guard, and I'm, debulking between that 1/8 and that number 2 and that 1 open. As you guys can see, just look at the hair, you guys could tell it's not fully laid down. Like, I'm still having trouble laying this hair all the way down. But the further we go in this video, the more you will see the hair laid down. So I'm gonna teach y'all a tip and trick about laying hair down fresh out of something like braids or dreads. And that's super important and vital. So I go in using my wrapping lotion, which is Lotta Body wrapping lotion. I put a excessive amount of this. I wanna make sure I could get it all the way through the hair. A fair amount, as you guys can see, that's a decent amount. And I go in with a brush and a blow dryer. I wanna brush this thing all the way in first, and then I'm gonna go in with my blow dryer now and just blow dry and brush. It's gonna force the hair to lay down. It's gonna force the hair to pull forward, and everything, as you guys can see now, like a lot of the hair was like kind of like curly or coily looking. As I'm brushing it, it's coming, closer and closer. And my client right here had a split in his head naturally from dreads, but right after this haircut, that split was completely gone. It's just more of a brushing thing, training that hair, getting that hair to lay back down. My next step is spritz, as you guys can see, going in, bringing everything together, not floating over the top of the hair, treating it as if it's a waveless haircut. You want to knock all these scraggly legs off. It's going to bring everything forward, make everything look way more solid and all the way together. And as you guys can see, this is, a tip and trick that is necessary. My next step, I go in with my gold Babeless FXs, doing my vertical bars, and once I get to the corner, the air converting to the corner of my trimmers. And boom, we got a clean neckline. Doing the same thing behind the beard line, dropping the straight vertical line behind the beard. And right here, repeating the same steps, doing my verticals. And when I get to the top of the ear, I'm gonna convert to the corner of my blade to work myself around the corner. And that drop in the straight line to do the vertical part in the back of the beard. Next step, plaiting in the middle, just because the middle is my center point, and working all the way to the left to give myself a nice prominent line to see what I'm working with in terms of the lineup. And now I'll do my vertical bars, keeping everything consistent. I need it to be the edge of a square or the bottom part of a triangle. I'm trying to create a 90-degree, and that vertical bar meets the top of the lineup area. And then now, working on my Chicago C's just to create a nice clean curve to help, expose that bursted taper that he has on the side. As you guys can see, I'm tapping and going. I got one hand that was basically keeping the head in place. And then right here, I'm just gonna stretch, the temple area so I can create more of a curve. Everything is about technique. Everything is about consistency and just having fun doing what you're doing. So I recenter myself at my center point, then I worked all the way to the right side, and will repeat a lot of these steps that I did on the opposite side on this side, creating a 90-degree or that back of a square look, creating that straight across, meeting that vertical line area. That's what you want. You want 90 degrees, which will always show precision. So that's super important. My next step, I go on my boy Sean Cut's hair color enhancement card using my color No Drip and using my Beam Team Cordless Compressor version 2. As you guys can see, I'm just spraying color, and I just want to make sure that I'm able to disperse color at an efficient rate and get it real nice and consistent looking. He had a calic in the front, which basically shifts his hair a different direction, and just using color could give it more of a fuller look. As you guys can see, with color, if done properly, you can always use it to not only boost your image, but at the same time, fulfill lighter spots within the client's lineup. And then right here, I'm going in using a Barber Magic Pencil, and I just basically want to use this the same way women will conceal their eyebrows. They'll initially clean their eyebrows up, get them waxed, get them arched, whatever. They'll go in, they'll fill them in with any type of color or whatever fill-in they want to use. Then they'll use a concealer pencil after that, assisting that with a blending brush, just so they can, blend it out and give it a nice, clean, crispier, edgy look. And that's my whole purpose behind what I'm doing now, using my trimmers as my blending brush. And as you guys can see, I'm killing that white line, but it's still leaving a nice contrast between the original haircut and his skin tone. It's giving it a real crispy, clean look. So that's exactly what I'm doing it for. It's more of an image thing. I like doing it for my videos, but also doing it for my images. When I'm posting images on different social sites, it just give it a real clean, edgy look. So that's just for my Kodak moments. And as you guys can see, super clean. Next, I go in, stretch the skin, angle my razor at a 45-degree angle, bring everything back to the line. I want to create a nice, clean beard line, and I'm going to go in, I'm going to dust this off with a whisk, just because, cleanliness is next to godliness. You got to loop things more than once. You got to do things more than once, for them to originally hit just as hard. Cleanliness is next to godliness, and the more you do something, the more perfect it will look. Using the backstroke, stretching the skin, angling that razor at a 45-degree angle, ensuring that I am putting a solidified line on this client, but at the same time, showing and displaying sauce flavor and flair and precision at a different level. That's exactly what I'm here for behind the chair. I want to give my clients a never, before look that they seen on themselves. Like, I'm cutting dreads off, so I gotta make sure I snap. I gotta make sure I overstep in this situation and make sure that I give my client something beyond what he would even think about, because it's his first haircut. So it's unfortunate in situations like this. I do lose brother to haircuts every day. I hate losing another dreaded brother, but y'all know, in the imperfect world, clients do come in 4-5 years down the line with a head full of dreads, and it's up to us as barbers to change that outcome. And on my channel, it's only one way to give it up. Without further ado, let's lock in. Hashtag TBT in that comment section. Hashtag Glacier Gang. It's 2021, man. I don't know what year it's gonna be yet. I'm still focused on that. It's just my first video I had to drop in 2021. This video was recorded like 4 to 5 months ago, but we here right now. As you guys can see, this was a clean, nice, dark Haircut with a nice taper, clean lineup, just a new look for my boy. If you was able to stick through this 15 minutes, I highly appreciate you and may God bless.
Alright, YouTube, we lost another brother today. But let me know what y'all think about that in the comment section, dog.